Namaskar. Think about it. Arjun was the ultimate Dhurandhar of his era, don't you think? He was someone who could shoot the eye of a fish rotating overhead while looking at its reflection in a bowl of oil below. That is not just skill, it's main character energy bordering on arrogance. And by the way, Arjun was basically the original night mode sniper, and he had nailed it as a kid. But in the Kurukshetra war, where he was facing 11 Akshoni Sena on that side, and he had 7 Akshoni. Now, if you don't know what is an Akshoni, take a look at this video here. That's where I have explained the enormity, the sheer number of people who fought in the Mahabharat war. So, while he was facing that absolute boss level, he didn't just hesitate. He went total Delulu. He had a total meltdown at the most inconvenient time. He began questioning duty, he began questioning consequences, he began questioning Dharma itself. Arjun, the man, the myth, was he a Dhurandhar or a Delulu? The story of Arjun that we are told is about his laser sharp focus, the perfect warrior, right? But if he was the goat, how could he suffer from the worst case of main character syndrome? Unbelievable, isn't it? Today we are breaking it down whether he was Dhurandhar or whether he was Delulu. Now, on paper, he was a beast. He didn't just train, he mastered. There is actually a story of him practicing aiming in the dead of night because he wanted to master shooting in low life conditions. Clearly, Arjun didn't just train, he went into grind mode. The OG core tapasya. You don't know what is tapasya? Watch this video where I have explained what tapasya is. Anyway, think about core tapasya as the ultimate training arc, the kind of intense boot camp where you earn special weapons. And in Arjun's time, they were called Divyastra. And by the way, he did earn those special weapons, the Divyastra. They were called Gandiv and the Pashupatastra. If you want a parallel in today's times, you could call them MRVs, multi-re-entry vehicles, devastating, precise, and with cheat codes of use. Have you heard of the Virat War? No? Well, our GO.A.T single-handedly defended that entire kingdom while he was disguised as a dancer, a eunuch dancer. Talk about undercover agent. This guy was teaching mudras by day and finishing off armies at night. Peak deception. A dance teacher who moonlighted as the ultimate raid boss. A Dhurandhar, statistically unbeatable. But then, the Mahabharat, the Kurukshetra war was about to begin. The armies were ready, they were standing opposite each other, waiting for the conch to blow so that they could go with their swords and other weapons. And what does our Dhurandhar do? He goes completely off script. He sees his great-grandfather, his gurus, his cousins, and suddenly he decides he is going to be a monk. His limbs are shaking. His Gandiv, that powerful MRV, it slips. And he falls thud onto the floor of his chariot. Delulu. He thinks he is going to be the one to decide who's going to live or die. He doesn't realize that the reset protocol is set at the time of birth. He is just the instrument. When he goes Delulu, what does he do? Imagine, oh, by the way, Krishna, his charioteer, was his bestie. And you know who Krishna is? Krishna is God himself. So he literally had a divine bestie, his best friend, to advise him when he had. Imagine if Krishna hadn't been there. Imagine if Krishna hadn't been his charioteer. Our Delulu would have quit, become a monk, lived on alms. You know, alms? Food that hermits beg and live on. He said he'll beg alms and he'll live on that. His words, not mine. What would have happened? Duryodhan would have won. Adharma would have reigned. Power would have been in the hands of the unworthy, and dark times ahead. As if it's not happening today also. Imagine in the war zone, the main character forgets his call of duty and suddenly wants to unlock Monk DLC instead of playing the Game of Thrones. He beg for alms and live off that. Really. Anyway, thank God. Literally, thank God. He did have doubts. He did have a bestie. And he did blurt his doubts. Had he not had Krishna as his bestie, as his BFF, it would have been the end. And believe me, when the mighty fall, they don't just fall. They crash so hard that their very greatness becomes a dead weight. Luckily, Krishna spoke. And don't think Arjun accepted everything just like that. Arjun's list of buts was longer than your WhatsApp group chat. Anyway, luckily, in the end, he understood. Our Delulu Arjun, he recovered. He became Dhurandhar again. The Mahabharat war was fought and won. And the rest, as they say, not history. The rest, as they say, is itihas. There is a video of mine which tells you the difference between history and itihas. Go and watch it. History is usually his story. It's the version the winner wants you to see. Itihas means, thus it happened. It's the raw third-party observation. Ask yourself, if Mahabharat was just mythology, a made-up fairy tale to inspire the masses, why would the author include the goat's most embarrassing moment, his meltdown? You don't write a propaganda piece and then show your invincible superhero crying on the floor of his chariot, do you? And if it is history, the kind that is written by court chroniclers, they would have scrubbed the scene faster than washing powder Nirma. You don't invent a fairy tale and then humiliate your champion. You don't write court history and then show weakness. You only do that when you are recording events as they are. That's the difference. Myth hides flaws. History glosses over them. Itihas, it tells you things just as they are. And because it's the unfiltered third party record, we get the truth. The shaky limbs, the Delulu fog, the raw human doubt. And we trust the Dhurandhar part of the story because Itihas had the courage to show us the Delulu part also. Now here's a truth that maybe you need to think about. The modern brainwash is telling you that doubt is a weakness. But Arjun proved centuries back that being a Dhurandhar does not mean that you don't have doubts. It means admitting those doubts, fighting them, and defeating them. Now, we don't have a divine bestie like Krishna to help us navigate through them. But we do have siblings, friends, families, whoever fits our team to help us out of our Delulu fog. As for me, I don't think he was either just a Dhurandhar or a Delulu. I think he was a Dhurandhar who had a Delulu moment. That's it. Now you decide. Was he a Dhurandhar or a Delulu? And your call. When your story is written, when the credits to your life are rolling, what will the scoreboard say? Dhurandhar or Delulu? Namaskar.